Movement clash with supporters of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan right outside the Turkish Embassy in Pretoria. Now, this came ahead of the president's visit early in this afternoon. He started at the Turkish Embassy to celebrate its reopening at a new location in Brooklyn, east of Pretoria. Meanwhile, TSM also called on President Cyril Ramaphosa not to meet with President Erdogan because of his record of gross human rights violations in Turkey after he failed a coup to oust, after the failed coup to oust him back in 2016.
We are outside the Turkish Embassy in Pretoria, where clashes have broken out between the Turkish Solidarity Movement and the supporters of the Turkish government. We do have the Turkish Solidarity Movement members that came here to try and sort of voice their concerns, accusing the president of gross human rights violations. And I do have one member of the Solidarity Movement here. Please, if you can introduce yourself and just tell me who you represent and where you're from.
Well, my name is Lucky Lukel. I'm from the Swaziland Solidarity Network. In solidarity with the people of Turkey, we have joined the Turkey Solidarity Network today in protest of the presence of this president of Turkey that we call a murderer. Here is a man that engineered a coup in 2016. When he engineered that coup, he then fired more than 250 workers, government workers for that matter, including academics, teachers at school and all of that. As we speak today, 3 days ago, more than 18 families who were trying to cross the river to Italy, their boat capsized. And as we speak again, he continues to use that bogus coup to then repress the people of Turkey. We are saying to the BRICS leaders, shame to them for inviting this murderer, this dictator. And we are saying to President Ramaphosa, we have got it in authority now, that he has refused, up to now he has not confirmed a meeting with him. We are saying to him, Siamtuma, we are sending him not to meet President Erdogan because he is a dictator.
All right, now earlier of course we saw those scenes of violent clashes between yourselves and the supporters of the president. We have some school children that are also here. Just talk to us about that.
Well, with that, I must say I'm extremely disappointed by the level of disorganization between the police who failed to protect us. Myself right now, I don't know what happened. I'll be going for medical checkups right away. I was beaten by more than 10 security members of President Erdogan in front of the South African police. And these guys that are doing as they pleases. We are saying to them, if they want to be respected by the criminals that are bombing, doing cash heist, and those that are stealing and raping and killing people, they must show us that they've got balls, our South African police, by arresting these criminals from Turkey who are coming to take over their space. And if they don't do that, their authority is being undermined.
Don't you consider your presence here while they are waiting for their presence as provocation?
No, it's not provocation at all. South African Constitution allows maximum 15 people to picket. And if you are going to march, you must give the local authorities at least 7 days notice. So you don't have to ask for a permission. So it is a democratic right, and we feel like we have all the rights to be here. And seriously, we feel undermined, and the country authority itself is undermined by these Turkish thugs.
All right, well, thank you very much. There you have it. That is the Turkish Solidarity Movement supporters saying they don't want the president, that is our President Ramaphosa, to meet with his Turkish counterpart, accusing him of those gross human rights violations. And now if you just look on this side here, the Turkish security officers are still on standby and on the lookout for any form of protest by this Solidarity Movement members. Of course, earlier it did get violence with stones being held from both sides.
Those people causing Fethullah Gulen, those people send them here. They hire them. They get money from these people. They come and striking here.
What about what they're saying that your president has caused gross human rights violations?
No, it's wrong. They're talking shit. They're talking lies. I was there last week. I was enjoying myself there.
I'll be honest with you, if you ask those people where's the Turkey, they will never know.
Just ask them where the Turkey map.
And you see, this man is Kurd. That man is Kurd. This man is Kurd. That we have many Kurdish people.
How come Turkey accepted 3.5 million Syrians in Turkey then? Well, why are we looking after them if you're doing genocide?
Yeah. All right, anyway, what do you make of the violence that happened a bit earlier on, the throwing of stones?
Because they intimidated us So we have to react. You cannot just stand back. So if someone punches you, you're going to stand back.
The Turkish president has just now arrived. His motorcade just outside the newly opened embassy here in Brooklyn, surrounded by a number of his supporters, the supporters that had earlier clashed with the Turkish movement guys that were here, where we saw stones are being held at both sides. Of course, they are denying all allegations that were being made by this protesting group that their president is responsible for gross human rights violations. They are saying that the group that was here, they rent a crowd group that was paid to come here and disrupt the arrival of the president. We know that the Turkish president will also be heading towards the BRICS summit after the opening of the embassy. The protesters have now since moved on to open a case of assault against the Turkish embassy security detail, and that's where we're leaving it for now.